Hello Capricorn, and welcome to your monthly readings. So hope everything is good, guys. If you like what you hear, join me on my social media so you can get your daily Taroscope as well. So let me see what I'm shuffling. Let's see what I have to address astrologically for you guys this month. And looks like there is like collection, like we have recycling on Wednesdays. So keep your eyes open and keep your ears to the ground this month, because your kind of like extended network of friends, relatives and co-workers will be kind of like full of some kind of like news and information that you will be able to use. And if you are willing to play the game, you'll be able to kind of like play some kind of like role in the community of some sort, right? I know you're that goat that kind of climbs the mountains, but this is not now the time to climb the mountain alone, right? So this kind of like collective is going to be really important, and that's going to be what matters right now. So you'll benefit from the support of others the same way they are going to be benefit from you. Karma, that's the flow of energy, that's kind of like all that kind of like matters. So you kind of like need to swap advice with a friend, or kind of like if you kind of like hear of some kind of like opportunity, you need to kind of like tell somebody about it if this opportunity is not the right for you, right? So what I'm saying is like that this entire month is going to kind of like be some kind of like exchange on of ideas. So the full moon, and it's kind of like the lumbar eclipse, lunar eclipse in Gemini is going to take place on November 30th. And eclipses are hurled in big changes. So this one is about revealing secrets, right? For you, it's going to bring focus back to you. Namely, kind of like how, I guess, you can optimize your schedule and what's your approach to wellness, right? So you're kind of like one of those signs who always burn the candle at both ends. So you're almost like so proud about it. Like, yeah, I do that. Like for most of us, like, you know. So this is not a really good way to take care of yourself, right? You need to kind of like consider how cutting back on work, and instead of pentacles, it's like about accomplishment. It's about what you really want to do, right? It's kind of like you really kind of like need to give yourself some slack, and maybe you are actually going to put yourself on kind of like a target for some much bigger success, right? So see what else do we have here. So we have Four of Swords. Yeah, I think this whole freaking October was a little bit slow, a little bit kind of like draining. There's like something brewing, and it looks like you're tired. Maybe you need to kind of like meditate. Maybe you need to relax. The Ten of Pentacles talks about taking care of the family, friends, future, vision, whatnot. Maybe that's what you have been dealing with, and now it's like, just leave me alone kind of a time, right? But you're not going to stay in this position very long, right? Because it almost looks like you're taking a quick nap in order to kind of like go around and circulate. So this is like the company of friends. Have like this glass of wine and enjoy it. It's interestingly here that I see a full moon, right? So that's kind of like toward the end of the month that we'll be dealing with. I think it's like on the 29th. Is it on the 29th? I think it is. Because this doesn't necessarily have to connect, because here you have a new moon. So we are talking that this period after November 15 in particular, when we have a new moon, so the following 14 and a half days until the full moon kind of like fully generates, right? So the full moon is in Taurus. This is kind of like your sister sign. That's really, we are talking about enjoyment of wine, of food, of beauty, of communicating our feelings, of expressing ourselves. So things are actually really falling in place for you over here. There's like some kind of Ten of Swords. It's not a bad card in this deck, because look, he clearly has been attacked. He clearly is injured. Somebody is running away. But look at him. He is really determined to kind of like grab this and kind of like follow through and find him. And I really think he'll be very successful at this. So maybe you had some kind of like setback. Maybe you had, I don't know, surgery. Maybe you had somebody kind of like digging some kind of like hole and try to push you into it, like kind of like trying to set you up in some kind of situation. You kind of like know who it is. You know where to find them, you know where they live, and they better watch it. Maybe you have been mulling over your strategy and how to do it of some sort. Maybe you have been just like simply taking it easy and just like, really enjoying the small kind of like joys in your life. And that kind of like is a really good strategy at this time. Then what we have here for the past, we have the Emperor. And this is a really good combination. Like it's kind of like really interesting. You have like 10 and 4, and then you have a 10 and 4. So you have like 2 times 14. 14 is a temperance in tarot, which talks about it's the time has come. Things can happen. You can merge the opposites. There is like something really new happening from seemingly two very different ends. Could be two very different people, could be two different projects, could be something that you didn't believe it would work. All of a sudden it makes sense, right? So you know what they say, the right time, the right place, the right person, stars are lining up for you over here. So the Emperor really tells me there is like this essence of being in control. You feel that you have this mastery about your surroundings over here. That's kind of like really important. There's like this 9 of Wands over here on top of it. Oh, look at that pretty kitty just like sleeping over here. The Knight of Wands is always talking about action and maybe travel, maybe exploring new things. Like that really connects with Sagittarius, and we'll be entering Sagittarius on the 21st. So the Sun enters Sagittarius, also Venus enters Sagittarius. When this happens, then we are more open to some global ideas, almost like you are not feeling constrained as much as like here I can see this like company and co-workers, lovers kind of stuff, chit chats and getting together. Here I can see more like some kind of like expansion, like thinking big talk, thinking like really what is your future made of. It's kind of weird, and it kind of makes sense because you are like very ambitious sign. You are not necessarily putting your head out. You don't want to be that king, but you want that position who is going to be behind the king and pulling the strings, because kings change, but you stay. And that's kind of like a smart involvement in a situation, right? Just keep in mind also that is going to be maybe a little bit of detective work. You will maybe want to find something, what is really going on. There could be some issues of some kind of commitment and what you want, and yet you will kind of like maybe want the freedom out of situation. Maybe you'll feel that you are, I don't know, overly taxed in a situation, that you overly extended yourself. So even though you're going to feel at times that just want to check out, the other times you're going to feel kind of like really exuberant energy that you really want to move forward. Then we have a 9 of Wands, and this can, I guess, relate back to this card. This can talk about some kind of struggle, because look at this, all the wands are broken or on the floor, but there is like one left. That's all it takes. Actually, she has 2. That's all it takes. Like, maybe, just having this posture and having the willingness to move forward, having this willingness to accomplish something, because there is this lingering of 10s and 9s. And 10s and 9s, what they have in common is the situation is there. The situation that you have been fighting for. You know how people set these goals and then never know when is the goal arriving, because maybe they set too big of the goals and they don't put those milestones. Then you know when you arrive that you're actually on the right path, right? So, but this is really telling you something really big is happening. Maybe you're not even aware of that. Like something, a shift is happening over here. For you, that shift is going to be really something on a global scale. It's going to be about your own personal growth, but it's also going to be about excitement, and it's going to be about some sense of morality. You're going to fight for what is right, and it's going to be really important for you. It's almost like going to be a little bit out of element for yourself. So this is like your own house. You have a 2 of Pentacles. And it's really weird that this is like reverse. This is, to me, the ultimate card of juggling. Like, not only is he trying to kind of like balance himself over here, but he has to kind of like do something that is almost like, looks like the infinite kind of like thing. it also reversed. So something is dropping. You are maybe dropping a couple of things. Maybe you don't see sense anymore about doing it. Maybe there's like some kind of like duality, and many of us have dualities, like that they're very, very weird to the other people. You kind of like need to reconcile them, right? Some people can support murder and be religious at the same time, right? So that's duality that you need to reconcile within yourself, because one is conflicting another, right? And it looks like you're just setting everything down. You're just like feeling like you need to drop everything. You kind of like need to, I don't know, recompose yourself in some way. So let's see what is in your environment. You have a 3 of Wands, and 3 of Wands is like somebody's approaching you and say, hey, like there is this, like, there's like this action, there's like some action happening. This person is saying here, let's open the horizons. Let's see if there's a friendship or partnership or relationship, because this is the card of the ships. So it's going to be something interesting. Like you can see the motion that we went from 9 and 10s to 2 and 3. So there is like this new start is happening. You're feeling a little bit wobbly, like in this process, but somebody is really here kind of like infusing sufficient amount of energy. So this is hopes and fears. You're looking for your muse, whether this is man or female. You're really looking for somebody who has emotional quality to offer, who kind of like maybe didn't have the vessel, and maybe you are the vessel who kind of like is willing to give this like big cup, right? This like big emotional exchange. This is falling in the hopes and fears. So even though you're hoping, there's like some hesitation, there's like maybe some fear when it comes to emotional engagement as well. And then we have the Empress. So now we have everything. There is like some kind of coupling, which kind of like links to the card that I previously pulled for you, which is reconciliation. Someone from your past is returning to your life. And this could be like, your ex-husband, your ex-wife. This could be something that is connecting to your children, or somebody who is involved in a marriage. This could be somebody who could be in the horoscope signs of Aries, Taurus, or Libra. That could be a water sign as well. But these are very, very strong figures. They're like, the ultimate masculine, the ultimate feminine principle. And when this happens, like the sizzle that I told you, this the temperance, like, merging the opposites can happen. Because they're like so, almost like a caricature, like, right? He doesn't have these emotions, none of that. But he can rule because he demands loyalty. He has all of these kind of like good qualities in terms of kind of clinical approach and strategy. She has all the soft qualities in kind of like, and this gentle place to do it. So now merging it together creates like that universe, that yin and yang, everything really happens, right? As a result of it. So overall it's very good. You need to kind of like figure something out within yourself, which I think it goes back to what I told you. Cut back on work. Maybe that's what you're doing. Maybe something you're realizing it's not really after all that important. Maybe you need to cut yourself some slack and just enjoy it, because this month could be crucial for you. If you're looking for somebody, you might just find them, and it might be just that it. So guys, reconciliation can also mean that a different partner shows up who will remind us of somebody who was really important to us, but this time it will work. So mark my words. So lastly, Capricorn, usually in December I do annuals for 2021 or the next year. This year I'm not going to do it because I just have these breathing issues. I'm too tired. But I'm going to do introduction to 2021. So if you're not on my mailing list, please put yourself on. 2 ways to do it. One, go in description and see, get on my mailing list, copy, paste the link, or simply go on my website, cattarot.ca, and wait for the pop-up to show up, or go down on the bottom where it says join my mailing list and do it that way. Lastly, if you want a reading with me, also you can book it through my website, cattarot.ca, or if you have any questions, like my email is there and the form, you can just submit it, and I'm glad to hear from you. Love you guys. Let me know your thoughts, and until the next time, I wish you all the best.